Most people know, somewhere in the back of their mind, that their car is costing them more than they think, but knowing something vaguely and actually sitting down to look at the numbers, those are two very different things. And that gap, between what we sense and what we refuse to calculate, is exactly where a lot of financial damage quietly happens. So today we're going to do the math. The math most people avoid, not to make you feel bad about your car, but because understanding the real cost of something is the first step to actually making a choice. Let's talk about someone. We'll call him Marcus. Marcus is 28. He lives in a mid-sized American city. He has a decent job, earns around $55,000 a year before taxes. After tax, he's bringing home somewhere around $3,800 a month. He's not struggling, but he's not really getting ahead either. His rent is $1,300. He has a student loan payment of $280. His phone, subscriptions, groceries, utilities, another $600 or so. 2 years ago, Marcus needed a car, or at least he felt like he did. He was tired of the old one. His co-workers were driving newer models, so he financed a $32,000 car, put almost nothing down, got a 72-month loan at 7% interest. His monthly payment came out to $490. He thought, that's manageable. That's just $490. That $490 a month is just the loan payment. It doesn't include insurance, registration, maintenance, or the fact that the car dropped in value the moment he drove off the lot. When you add it all together, Marcus is spending somewhere around $720 to $750 a month to own and operate that car. On a $3,800 take-home income, that's nearly 20% of everything he earns. Gone. Every single month. To a depreciating asset. The car didn't break Marcus's finances, but it quietly made everything else harder. Over 72 months, Marcus will pay roughly $35,300 in loan payments alone. On a car he bought for $32,000, that's over $3,000 in interest. If Marcus had instead invested that $490 a month into a simple index fund for 6 years at 8%, he'd have accumulated somewhere close to $45,000. Not $45,000 because he got lucky, not because he picked the right stock, just because he let compound growth do what it does. The car he chose cost him around $750 a month. The car he didn't choose could have built him $45,000. That difference, that's the math nobody wants to do. So why did Marcus make this choice? Because he's not irrational. He's not irresponsible. He's just human. There's a deeply embedded psychological pattern here that researchers call social comparison. We don't evaluate our decisions in isolation. We evaluate them relative to the people around us. There's also something called present bias, our tendency to weight immediate comfort and status far more heavily than future outcomes. Marcus wasn't just buying transportation. He was buying a feeling. And feelings, as it turns out, are among the most expensive things you can finance. Fast forward 6 years. Marcus finishes his payments. The car is now worth maybe $14,000 if he's lucky. He's paid over $53,000 to own it when you factor in everything. Marcus is 34 now. He still doesn't have meaningful savings. He's still living paycheck to paycheck. Not because he earns too little, but because his fixed expenses never left him room to build anything. He's not in crisis. He just never built the foundation he could have built. And the window where compounding works most powerfully, his 20s and early 30s, pass without him really using it. That's the real long-term cost. Not the car payment. The opportunity that quietly disappeared inside it. People who end up genuinely wealthy, not people who look wealthy, but people who actually are, tend to think about cars differently. It's a tool, one that loses value every year, every month, every mile, and tools should be bought with that in mind. The financially intelligent approach isn't always to buy the cheapest possible car. It's to be honest about what the real cost is, and then make that choice deliberately. People who build real wealth over time tend to optimize their finances for future freedom rather than present appearance. None of this is about guilt. If you have a car loan right now, that's a reality, not a verdict. But there's value in just knowing, in doing the actual math, even if it's uncomfortable. The car payment math isn't complicated. It's just the math most of us quietly choose not to do. And now you have. If this gave you something to think about, consider subscribing. There's more of this kind of thinking coming, calm, honest, and always focused on the numbers that actually matter.